Hey y'all, let's talk Insecure. Tonight was the big Issa and Lawrence episode. I feel like this is a moment that has been culminating after several seasons of kind of googly eyes or really like temporary interactions. We finally got an episode to see them hash it out. So, ladies, normally, let me just introduce my girls. My sister Season, once again, my friend Monica, Charlotte, and Portia. Welcome to the panel this week, ladies.
Hello.
So before I get into it, normally I'm like thumbs up or thumbs down, but let me start it off a little bit differently this time. Everybody, if you have a drink, if you are here for the Issa and Lawrence connection, even if it's begrudgingly, even if it's temporary, take a sip. If you are not, don't take a sip. Okay, mostly everybody is here somewhat for Issa and Lawrence. So, Season, you were the only one that did not take a sip, but I know that is very hard for you, child, because I know how much you like to get your sip on. So let me start off, and just everybody, just brief comments, just to kind of give you your overall thoughts. We're gonna go throughout the episode and kind of respond to different things throughout the episode, but on a high level, Season, what were your thoughts on the episode?
I thought the episode was cute. No. I take that back. I felt like he was vetting her and kind of wanting an explanation. I ain't like that shit.
Okay.
But he did have some self-reflection. He did take some type of responsibility. But I know what game Issa was playing, and I'm gonna say that for later, but yeah, I just felt like he wanted Issa to do too much explaining, but I do appreciate her honesty, and that is what I was here for.
Right. Charlotte, what were your overall thoughts about the episode?
Very selfish thoughts. Like, I resonate with Issa and Lawrence, Lisa. I resonate with that relationship on a whole other level personally. So I was here for it. Like, I totally understand being in a long-term relationship and y'all breaking up over
infidelity,
semantic, and then like coming back together. Yeah. Because it's unfinished business. Like there is a love there, like an underlying love there that a new relationship just can't hold a candle to.
Yeah, I definitely think that there is something relatable, and a lot of people kind of have that relate to that, the one that got away, and you kind of like go back and think about, well, what did I do wrong in this situation, or what if, and could this have worked out? There's a little bit of romanticization of the relationship, and what you missed out on or how you messed stuff up. Portia, what are your overall thoughts on the episode?
Overall, it was a great episode, and I appreciate the fact that they were trying to get them back together and have that moment of like reconnecting and rekindling. But again, to me, it was no more than a "you're the one that got away" rekindle conversation versus an actual conversation or episode that's going to lead to something real in the future. And that's what bugged me about it, even though I'm here for it if it worked out, because maybe that would be her true love. However, I think the whole purpose was he had some stuff get off his chest. And so now he's dumping his like emotional garbage on her. And then now we're going to see her do a whole other spiral. But that's all I have to say about that.
We're going to park that because you said a lot of things in there that I think a lot of us agree with. But there has been this tendency in the history of Insecure to kind of have these moments with Lawrence and Issa, like, is something going to pop off? Nope, Yeah. But they explored that a lot more this episode than they have in prior episodes. Monica, what were your overall thoughts about the episode?
Circling back to what Season said regarding Lawrence kind of vetting her and where, like, obviously checking her temperature, because that's happened to me. And it's kind of like once you've grown, I mean, they've been separated, it seems like maybe like a year and a half. Once you've like grown in your own world, and then this person sees, you're doing your thing, they're doing their thing, and then like you kind of like go out for this like friendly drink or friendly dinner or whatever. And it's kind of like, you know, a situation where it's just like, okay, I'm taking the temperature to kind of see like what could be or what would be or what can be type situation. And, you know, like I said, I've been in that situation before where I've just been like, look, what you're looking for and what you had is not what I can offer you. So, but I mean, they didn't get too much in depth as far as, you know, a real conclusion of where they're going to go. That may come next episode, next season, who knows? But I definitely I've definitely been there. So.
Yeah, I agree with everything that all of y'all said. I mean, for me, I feel like this tug of war because I'm just like, there's a part of me that's over it. Like I'm over the Issa and Lawrence kind of retread because it never seems to go anywhere. And I think it holds Issa back to a certain extent, even though if you look at Issa versus Lawrence, it seems like she has at least tried to, you know, have more meaningful relationships, even though they don't work out. But I do feel like it stunted her a little bit. And it seems like it stunted Lawrence to a certain extent as well. So there's a part of me that's like, just for the sake of ending the tug of war, like, let's just let them be broken up altogether. But then you have these episodes or these moments in prior episodes where you see the chemistry and the history and the camaraderie that they have and the rapport they have that you can't help but kind of root for them. And I think that this episode really, I mean, season, I see that look. You know, it's even throughout the episode, there's a tug of war. Because there are moments in the episode where I'm like, oh, fuck that nigga, that's why I don't want to be with him. But then there's other episodes I'm like, oh, I really like this. Maybe it could work, you know.
Right.
But we're gonna get to all that. So let's start off with the opening scene, right? You know, you see Lawrence is sitting up there, you know, checking his breath, getting his mitts, you know. So obviously, to me, that's the first signal that this isn't just like some super casual, you know, thing that he's, you know, looking to interact with her on. It seems like a little bit more like a date, you know, from that point forward. But then Issa walks in and just face plants. Could that moment have gone any worse for Issa than that?
But like, why did she have to face plant? Why couldn't she have her stroll? Why
you know what? Good
write
point.
that into the script?
But see, that's the thing. Like, I relate to Issa on so many levels because the embarrassments that I've had in my life are limitless. So that could well happen to me. Like, I totally get it. It keeps you humble.
But I don't want her to be humble in that moment. I want her to walk in to Portia's point.
Yes.
Sashay, Shantae.
Hello.
You call me, bitch.
We
I'm
here.
living my
What?
best life. I'm fine. I got my little blazer on and shit. I got my little hair cute.
That outfit was
She was
suspect.
denied.
It was cute.
Yeah, I thought she was giving us condola teas with the outfit. Low key.
Yeah.
Low
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah. But
okay.
I did want her to have her moment. So season though. So she face plants and then she just lays there. Like, is that not peak Issa or what? Like, I mean, do you?
I thought that was a little bit extra. Like, okay, girl, get up. We get it. But the fact that she was meeting up with someone, I mean, if it was like a first date, that would have been devastating. But it's Lawrence. The fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, you know. So I didn't really put that much thought into that scene. I was just like, girl, get up.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like it was funny. It reminded me of that Sex in the City iconic scene where Carrie is walking down the runway. She has that blue badass outfit on and she fucking falls. And it was just devastating for her. I mean, she got up and she brushed herself off and tried again. But I mean, it's just one of those moments that, you know, when you face plant like that, that's going to sear into your brain. It did get them free drinks though. So I guess shout out to her for falling. But Monica, so they sit down. They're starting to have this conversation. They talk about Lawrence, and Lawrence is talking about him going to San Francisco. It does kind of seem, to your point earlier, that there's a vetting situation that's going here. Like, it seems like Lawrence is really there because he's, I don't want to say lost, but he's really trying to figure it out. Like he's trying to figure out his career situation. He's trying to figure Season. Okay, I'm gonna go back to you because you have this face that's like, hell no, I don't agree with that at all. So Season, why that face?
He's weighing his fucking options, you guys. Come on. So
okay, you're right. You're right.
He got the text from Condola and she was like, oh, I know you said Tuesday, but what about tonight? So they had talked previously about meeting up for what the fuck ever, but he hit Issa up on a whim after running into Molly, but he already tried to talk to her previously. So the nigga's weighing his options. I don't think he's genuine, which is why I wasn't really for the hookup tonight. If Condola wouldn't have been an inkling in the episode, I would have been like, okay, this is cute. Let's see. He might really miss her, but because Condola was, a cloud over the episode, he's weighing his options, point blank, period. Like, I'm not here for that.
I agree.
No. And then his questioning of her and which is why I'm glad Issa was so honest. Like, nigga, you wasn't fucking with me for like a year, whatever. I went here, I'm glad she just was truthful and wasn't like really trying to like heed to his ego, but like, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. We're gonna get to that. Because I definitely share a lot of your sentiments, and I think that all of us do. But let's just talk a little bit more, Monica, about the bar scene. So it goes from kind of a really casual interaction, they're kind of filling each other out, to like, all right, this is not a situation where we can actually have this interaction. So they end up going, catching a lift to go to the next spot. What was your reaction to the car scene? And the very nosy and pushy Lyft driver?
It just was, that was like obviously a lot on it, and it's one of those situations where like, I think we've all been in Lyfts, Ubers, whatever, where you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna fuck with this person on like bloop bloop, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, obviously it took a turn in the car when the whole situation came up about the ring. And she got put on the spot by the Season. He got put on the spot by the driver, and I'm gonna hurt you. And that was a lot. A lot on that whole, whatever he had to talk to her about, and whatever they were gonna conversate about. But I don't know, like it just, that was a whole lot in that 15-minute ride or whatever. So
yeah. But it's certainly like obvious, Portia, that they have that chemistry, right? And it's something that, we as viewers see it, and it's something that the driver saw. I think it kind of continues to build on that whole narrative of like, y'all have something special. Is that how you take it, Portia, or did you have a different read on it?
Well, so yes, I do recognize their energy. I know what it's like to like, be spiritually or emotionally connected to somebody. However, I don't want to hear nothing about a ring that I didn't get. You know what I'm saying? Like, kiki, ha, 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 that's not funny to me. I don't care if it was even my fault, right? Because in her situation, like, she cheated on him, so that caused the, like, what happened next situation. However, like, that's not exciting to me to know, like, oh, you bought a ring. And I was actually, funny enough, I just missed it so much that I didn't even realize that it was a thing until she said, oh, did you really buy a ring? And I was like, oh, you asking about that? Why are you
right,
yeah. Because I was
no ring, girl.
I was like, ring what? Who cares? Like, I already knew though from jump they were going to have sex just because, well.
Wait. Sorry. You spent 5 years with a guy. Yes, I want to know that a ring was in play. Like,
what does it matter if y'all broke up? Like, who cares if you bought a ring? If we're not together, we're not married. I don't care if you bought a ring.
For me, I would want to know that you weren't wasting my time.
But he did waste your time though.
Yeah, but was your true intention wasting my time, or did I cheat on you and mess it all up?
Right.
True, but whatever.
Let's talk about the ring situation though, Charlotte, because I do think, and I know, Cece, you have comments, but I'm gonna get to Charlotte first. Let's talk about the ring.
Disclaimer, like full disclaimer, like again, like I've lived this situation, so it's not
right.
Like I'm trying to pull back from my personal life right now.
Who you
Oh
telling?
no, go in. Bring it
Who
on
you
out.
telling?
Let it come on out.
Hey, what's a conversation amongst friends and hundreds of people on YouTube, right?
In all the world.
Hold on, I'm
Right.
now, so I can't say everything.
Okay, so but Charlotte, let's talk about this ring, right? I mean, it's going a little bit out of order, but let's talk about the ring. I do kind of agree with Portia to a certain extent that kind of bringing it up is almost a little bit of an emotional, because you know you it's almost a manipulation tactic, even if you're trying to be funny, haha, like, oh, I'm just going to casually bring this up, because that to me kind of with Issa probably trigger something in her to make her feel more like this is the one that got away than maybe she would have otherwise felt if she had not heard that information. That's my take on it. What's your take on it? The implications of him bringing up the ring, if a ring actually existed, which I'm sure Season will probably have thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on that? Charlotte. Yeah.
Again, like the relationship was long term. There was a season that like kind of went stale and it was drought. But it's the implication that I wasn't wasting my time. Like we both had the intention of spending the rest of our lives together, whether I checked out or not, whether I cheated or not. Like you had intention on making me your wife today. So I feel like that means a lot, because a lot of women are like strung along in these long-term relationships that lead to nowhere, kids included, and they're still in these decade-long relationships that go nowhere. So
do you think that it influenced Issa though? Do you think that learning that piece of information kind of shaped her reaction throughout the rest of the night? Or do you think that what happened was kind of inevitable? Without going into what happened, we're going to get into that, but what do you think?
First, so Charlotte as Issa, yes, that shaped a lot, because that says that you intended to spend the rest of your life with me. Like you was not trying to waste my time. I wasn't a project. I wasn't something you were trying to do. Your intentions was making me your wife, and I appreciate that.
Okay, Season.
And I'm out here like playing myself for random ass niggas, and you were like willing to wife me all along. Yeah, that means something.
Wait, I have a question for Charlotte.
Yeah.
You said this is like your life. Like, did you cheat on somebody and they had a ring?
Hey, flag on the play.
You don't have to answer that.
Here's the Reese.
Play. So Season.
I'm sorry.
Your thoughts on this ring? I know you have theories. So what is your theory on the ring?
Y'all, there was no motherfucking ring. Okay, come on. Y'all, let's be honest. First of all, it was the driver who bought up the ring. He said he
got a ring. Well,
he got a ring. Where was the ring at? He didn't have no ring. He didn't have no
job, right?
He didn't have no job.
In fairness, he didn't have a job when Issa cheated. But Issa cheated. Lawrence got a job, got his shit together. They was buying couches and shit.
Y'all, let's rewind. He got a job at Best Buy. Okay.
You right. He was just working. Because when he left her, it was the Best Buy shirt left. You right. Okay, never mind.
There was no ring.
It was a cheap ring if that was the case.
Two, he said something that resonated with me. He was like, I almost moved out to my mama house, right? But he chose to sit there and fucking make Issa miserable. And that's what really let me know, like, he wasn't fucking with her like that. He really was in a zone where he was down on himself. He really wanted to be something that he wasn't, and he was just stuck in a rut, and he was gonna make Issa pay for the shit. You could have went to your mama house with your miserable ass, but you sat here and made me feel like some type of way, and then I go cheat, and now I gotta sit here a year, 2 years later on a dinner date and tell you where I fucked up at, and then you hold this invisible make-believe fucking ring over my head. I wasn't feeling that.
Yeah.
No, that's me being that's me cut the shit. What do you want from me? What's up? I wasn't feeling that whole thing. Like, I wasn't feeling his whole vetting thing, and he know good and well that wasn't no damn ring. There would have been a ring after Best Buy, after the second job he got. Then he probably would have fucked the, two more girls just to get back at her. And then it would have been a ring. Let's be honest, y'all. There wasn't no ring when he was sitting on her couch.
Nope.
That was a process.
There was a process. The ring would have came like 2, maybe 3 years later, maybe with a break baby. But now,
so season 7.
Yeah, like next season would have been a ring.
Yeah.
But not sitting on the couch finna go get a job at Best Buy, Lawrence. There wasn't no ring.
Season 7 is generous. It took Kelly 5 seasons to have a damn baby, but anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no, to Caesar's point, the math does not add up, Chill. This was a family heirloom.
It ain't matter.
Unless it was a family heirloom. So, Monica, let's talk about, this conversation, all right? So, they have the cheating conversation. Now, it wasn't the first time they had the cheating conversation, but some years removed or a year removed, they're able to kind of have this conversation about what went wrong. And I did appreciate that Issa kind of, didn't take the I'm a scumbag, position. That is how they painted her and how she's kind of accepted this entire time. It kind of did lay it on Lawrence that, he was not giving her something that she needed from the relationship. What were your thoughts on that? Monica.
People cheat every day. No, just kidding.
Every day.
Right here. No, just kidding. I mean, at the end of the day, people cheat every day. And I feel like when women cheat and they get caught up in it, it's like 10 times harder to come back from a woman cheating or getting caught up in some shit. So I hear than it is for a man. But I mean, it just, she said what she said. And I think I felt her when she said, you know what, like, you weren't giving me the attention that I felt like I needed or deserved. So like when someone else is giving you that attention, even if it's like for a short period of time, yes, you are going to go, to this individual that is. And it's even more frustrating when you've been with someone for umpteenth years and they're still on like some bullshit. So, I don't know, that whole cheating situation, it wavers back and forth with me. And I'll just leave it there.
So Charlotte, I do think that it's interesting that kind of, she held Lawrence's feet to the fire, but I don't remember which one of you said it earlier, but Lawrence did take accountability. Like I should say, let me rewind. I think it came as a shock to Lawrence how miserable Issa was. Do you think that, it takes 2 for a person to cheat? Like, do you think that like that is part of the reason why is because somebody's checked out of the relationship? Or do you think that either way, like if you cheat, you're in the wrong?
So
Charlotte, that's for you.
Yeah, I do think it's 2 people. I think it takes 2 people, but I also think that before anyone cheats, a conversation needs to be had, like an open, honest, transparent conversation needs to be had in your relationship before it even gets there. I think a lot of times when people do step out and when they do cheat, it's because they're making an assumption on behalf of their partner, or they're lacking something and they don't have the confidence to bring it to their partner, and then they just make their own moves. But it definitely takes 2. Like, I don't think Issa was just like, I'm gonna be a fuck girl and cheat on my guy. It like her dude checked out. She checked out shortly thereafter, and then here comes Daniel.
Yeah. So moving on from the cheating part, they have this conversation. I seem to both. Season, did you have something to say? Because you gave me a look like her already.
No.
Okay, she's okay. So moving on from the cheating part, so they have a conversation. It seems like they finally come to this understanding. They've advanced. They've matured. They can recognize. Oh shit! I think mine is frozen, or several people frozen. Okay.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Okay. So they have this. They seem to like have this understanding that you know what, we're moving past that situation. But to Season's point, I did not like the whole exchange that happened with Condola, because Condola text Lawrence and is like, I know we're supposed to meet on Tuesday, and then Lawrence is like, oh, well, we might still be able to hook up tonight, and I'm like, I felt cheated by Lawrence. I felt like Lawrence was full of shit for him to sit up there and basically this is his release for himself. To call Issa up, to gas her head up with, well, what would happen if it was the two of us? And what if we never broke up? This, that, and the other. Meanwhile, you have Condola on text knowing that you are still interacting with her. I thought that situation was messy as fuck. And Lawrence seemed to me that smirk after he sent, Condola the text, and he says the bathroom, screamed like, I'm the man, and I have both of these bitches where I want them. Portia, what was your read once you saw that Condola and Lawrence were still corresponding despite the fact of this date?
Okay, so when they were on the date, I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. And then I saw that text, and I was like, see, that's that BS I'm talking about.
That's that shit right there. Yeah.
That right there. Like, first of all, at least had a decency not to even be texting her while we on the date, right? Because you have history with both people, and these two people were friends. So it's not like you texting some like random like Instagram chick who you just met or something, right? Like, this is somebody who you have had history with. And in my opinion, which why I feel like, okay, I feel like, well, in the beginning at least, that they were gonna do their thing. If Issa, well, I feel like he was going to have sex with Condola. Like, he was like, okay, well, I'm going to line Issa up. I'm going to have something with her. Then when I'm done with her, I'm going to go to this person. And then, like, in my mind, they were setting up a pattern for him to bounce back and forth. And so I'm like, we can't be doing that either. Like, who are you messing with? Who do you want? Because at this point, there's too many feelings involved. We too grown. We too old. Like, just set your intentions and let's move on from that. Because what you're not going to do is you're not going to be holding our history over my head. And that's why, like, even though I really like want them to work out, I don't think it's going to be a good thing long term, because you will never forget the history. I feel like he's always going to bring it up. She might bring it up, whatever. So, yeah, I was not here for it at all. And I was like, so you trifling.
Lawrence, bitch, who do you love? Okay.
That part.
For real.
Yeah, Portia, I mean, I completely like agree with you. And I feel like the situation with Lawrence, particularly the text messaging, it just felt really creepy. It felt like, manipulative. It was definitely some fuckboy shit, because it seemed genuine with him and Issa up until the point where Condola comes in the picture. And it's like, well, wait a second, hold the fuck up now. Are you trying to tell me that you're trying to have this nostalgia conversation, trying to have this kind of reckoning and reconciliation, and you got a whole nother bitch on your line talking about, oh, can we hook up tonight? Like, hell to the fuck no. And then the fact that he left that door open, despite the fact that we see the chemistry that him and Issa have, despite the fact that Issa is opening up her heart to him, despite the fact that Issa had moved the fuck on and had her own shit going on, until your motherfucking ass calls her up, text messaging her, talking about, do you want to see each other? It felt so wrong and exploitive, and it reminded me why I'm not rooting for their motherfucking ass in the first place. Season, what did you think?
Oh, I'm 100% there. So I feel like when he wanted to talk to her a few episodes ago, I don't know how many months ago, I don't know when that was, because we dealing with insecure here, so their timelines don't really be mapping like that. But I think when he originally wanted to talk to her, it was probably on some genuine shit, like, me and Condola broke up. I want to see where I went wrong with you and see if we can work things out. But clearly that would have been a rebound situation. So here we are, fast forward, and he still has that same approach, but he's clearly been in contact with Condola again. So it's like, with he should have at least and then Issa knows, he makes it clear, like, oh yeah, I'm talking to Condola, like, so I just feel like he came at her
well, he doesn't make it clear that he's talking to Condola until they've already had this conversation with her spilling her guts and him kind of to me, I felt like he was leading her on. He didn't actually come out and say that they were having a conversation until she saw his phone and saw that Condola was speaking to him.
Right, but
he showed her his phone.
Yeah, when she called.
He pulled it
by
out.
him introducing that whole thing, he should have been like, "Oh, don't worry about it." He could have really played it down, but he left it open for Issa to be to her own imagination, and to me, that introduced a competition aspect to it for me, which is why I think Issa went there at the end of the night.
Well, let's back up to like Issa's reaction. She was just like, well, it's okay, like being very dismissive, like, well, it's okay, because when they're on their way to Art Walk, or they were at Art Walk, she could have been like, what the fuck, like she could have put her foot down there, like, what the fuck do you want from me, or like what, because this, she's still calling you, it's like fucking 10-11 o'clock at night, like it could have gone totally in a different direction when they're at Art Walk if she felt like Condola was a threat, I guess. And then like going to his apartment and then him calling her, it's just like, nigga, I'm out, like, but she stayed.
Yeah, I mean, Monica, like, did she not kind of play herself by even continuing on the date? Was what to me, okay, let's take another sip. Let's take a sip here. If at the point when you saw that this motherfucker who done sat up here and called your motherfucking ass out, you done got dressed in your little red blazer and shit, you got your hair done looking cute, you done face planted on the motherfucking ground, you done went to 2 locations and shit, had an Uber situation, and this motherfucker got the nerve to be still corresponding with the bitch that he barely even had a relationship with, that he left, that ghosted her, that ghosted Issa. And you mean to motherfucking tell me that when you see that this bitch is calling him while he's out on a date with you, and you go, so let's take a sip. Take a sip. Date over once you see that call. If you would have been like, well, may the best bitch win, don't take a sip. Date over, take a sip. Best bitch win, don't take a sip.
No, ma'am. Best bitch win. We finna be up. I don't give a fuck if I gotta break out Scrabble, bitch. You ain't going over that bitch house tonight.
Yeah, real talk. I wouldn't ended it. I'm not gonna
Scrabble, Monopoly.
Stuck with me.
Oh no.
Okay, so team prideful over here. Team may the best bitch win over here. So may the best bitch win team. Season.
And May, I still.
Okay, Porsche. You said what?
I said I'm both. Like I'm team prideful and may the best chick win. Like I'm not about to move out the way so you can go over there and hang out. Now, I mean, I have played myself and done what she did in the end, but like she said about the Scrabble, I might give me some Uno. Let's make some tacos real quick. Like I don't know. It would have been, I would have wasted your whole time.
Waste his time 2020. I'm not saying I would have had. But she texted me. What's she talking about? Anyway, let's go to this other spot. I want some taco. Like Portia said, no, you ain't finna go over there. We finna kick it. You had me all out the house. I done fell in your face.
I got dressed. Like, no.
Right. No, you ain't finna just drop me off. No. So you can go kick it with her. Fuck that bitch. For real.
Okay, Monica, though. We were over here in this Charlotte. We over here on team prideful. Team, fuck that nigga. You not gonna sit up there and have me on a date spilling my guts. And then your motherfucking ass about to go meet up with the next bitch after this. Monica, your reaction to that situation?
I mean, she came up, 2 or 3 times in this date? And of the 2 or 3 times, Issa saw a text or like heard the conversation, saw the phone call. That's 2 times like, no, fam, I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm about to, what does old girl say? I'm on to the next dick boy. Down to the next. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I mean, that's just, I'm not doing that. Like, I mean, yeah, no.
Char, what do you think? 1 strike, 2 strikes, how many strikes?
All. Like, I'm not, 1 strike. I'm not competing with anybody.
Yeah.
You choose me and it's totality, or we don't need to be together. Like I'm not competing with anybody. I'm just not. Don't let me know. Don't let me know I am. When I don't know, is between you and your conscience. But if
Exactly.
you know for a fact that there's another woman in the picture, I'm good. Like,
Right.
clear on who you choose when you don't waste my time.
Yeah, I'm with these ladies because personally I'm not a retreader. It's fuck you, have a good life. That's me. And I'm married now, so I don't have to ever retread ever again. But in my single days, it was done when it was done. And the last thing I would have ever in my whole entire motherfucking life dealt with is a motherfucker on a date with me. You got some bitch calling you, and we have history, and you trying to sit up there and milk me for motherfucking history and vet me and ask me all kind of goddamn questions and emotionally blackmail me and emotionally, fuck up my shit where I was over here talking about I'm happy and shit. And here you go. The last motherfucker thing I'm going for is seeing this bitch name pop up on your goddamn shit, and then
Damn, she was on the road too.
okay, no, the fuck, it's not cool.
Frozen.
Blank.
There you go.
Period. No, okay, let me run because I froze. So in case I froze and I'm back, let me be clear. Hell to the motherfucker no. Ain't no goddamn, okay. No, bitch, it's not cool. Don't fucking call me until you handle that bitch in that situation because we done already been broken up for a year, 2 years, however the fuck long in the picture. So you could have kept that same broken up ass energy, that same over there energy until you had the situation with goddamn Condola figured the fuck out. So I would have been very offended and the date would have been over because at that point I'm realizing you on some fuckboy shit. She should have had a moment like the Best Buy chick. Remember her when she cussed Lawrence ass out?
All right.
She should have cussed Lawrence ass out at that point. And that's one of the things, even outside of relationships, I still want to see Issa not be a fucking pushover. Like, call the nigga out. And then you can, I'm sorry, she should have, even if you want to say, may the best bitch win, you could still say, may the best bitch win, but call him out of the situation and be like, so wait a second, what is this about? Why are you calling me up and you still got this situation going on? You need to handle that. Like, I feel like at that age and that maturity and the history they have, I think that would have been at a minimum.
Damn.
Okay, y'all back. Oh my God, I can't believe my internet is janky. My internet is so janky tonight, so I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to edit all this shit out for y'all watching on YouTube. I apologize. It's not me, it's Verizon. I pay a lot of money for my fucking internet. I have no control over this shit being janky as shit. But anyways, okay. So I said
Obama phone internet. I got
man, Verizon, I need a refund. Shit, I need a rebate on my goddamn janky ass internet. But anyways, y'all who has something to say in response to me? Because I said a word.
Because
you do, Season, go ahead.
I'm next on that.
I am happily married to a nigga I had to take a cute little break from. And it's not even about like,
that's true.
Oh, it's not about competition. It's about, look, if you come back around here, this is what you gonna have to do. I don't give a fuck what you was doing when we was broke up. I don't care who in your phone right now, but to be with me or for me to be all in, this is what I expect. So it ain't for me. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'll be big kicking in with my husband if he was on a date and he had other bitches texting him. But what I'm saying is that wouldn't even have been my concern. It's like, don't come around here playing with me. Like
that's the thing.
If we gonna get back together, we gonna do that. If we not, then go on, keep on fucking with other people. But I'm not finna sit around and watch you date other bitches. And I think that's where the line gets blurred with Issa and Lawrence, is they do have this little bogus ass little friendship or whatever. Okay, if you a cute, funny girl with a nice personality, you can kiki with anybody. So I'm not really impressed with their camaraderie and I get her joke, she get my. I don't give a fuck about that. You can get along with anybody if you a good person. But they have this friendship thing, which I think is so retarded for people to stay friends with exes like that. It's like, no, let them go on about their business, because especially men, they will hey stranger your ass and what went wrong with us and what hey stranger or what you own at 2 a.m. So I just feel like again, I know why Issa went. I feel like I know why she went there at the end of the night, but I have been in that situation where it's like we were broke up for a minute and it's like, all right, look, you talking a good game. I've explained myself. You've explained yourself. What's up? And that's
Right.
just that.
Right. I think at the end of the day, if you come back, then be back. If you not, then get the fuck on. Monica,
Yeah.
you said you were gonna be next. What did you have to say?
You know, I feel like by that point when Condola had called, or when they were on their way wherever, oh my, Lawrence had already jammed her up in her feelings and vice versa and stuff like that. So there was that, like, you know, like that, you know, that flutter you get or what. I'm pretty sure Season, circling back to what you said, once Andrew came back around, your husband, excuse me, came back around, and it just was like, okay, this is a fresh new start. Now, I'm pretty sure had you seen, you know, a phone call from whoever the fuck, like, you would have been like, you know what, like, you would have spoke up. Her, on the other hand, did not speak up. She kind of was like, it's okay. I mean, and I can say for me personally, I've been in those situations where I've had to call individuals out and be like, look, I'm not doing this shit with you. But it hasn't been individuals that I'm like, oh, I could totally see myself married to them or moving, bloop, bloop, bloop. Like, I'm not doing that. But if it's like, all right, cool, you want to kick it, you want to take a trip, you want to bloop, bloop, whatever, I'm down for that. But don't be having these bitches call my phone. Don't be having, you know, run me my shit. And then, you know, whatever, I'll entertain it. But, you know, I look at Season, I look at one of our other really close friends' relationship, how they separated and now are, you know, back together, owning homes, children and stuff like that. And it gives me some sort of hope for not my current situation, but it just gives me some sort of hope that, you know, it might, you know, might have to go through the fuck shit. And I know even being the age I'm at, and, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I play my games too, but at the end of the day, like, okay, like when I'm for real about being real and settling down and really seeing what this person is about, like, I'm gonna have those butterflies of this person coming back around and being like, okay, let me stop bullshitting, you know. So, but she was okay with Condola calling and all that, so it just, you know, it's gonna go whatever way it's gonna go. But I think a lot of it had to do with them initially having the conversation about their feelings and him kind of, you know, like I said, jamming her up about this and vice versa. So
I mean, look, Issa didn't call that nigga to the carpet, but actions speak louder than words. She marked her territory, y'all.
she did.
Mm-hmm.
She did that.
And for me, even though she did that, it wasn't like about competition. I mean, like I said, I probably wasn't doing the ultimate thing she did. But however, for me, it's more like, are we wasting time now? Okay, I'm wasting your time, wasting my time. You're not about to just be dissing me and being like, okay, date number 2 for the night. Like, nah, you stuck on me now because you called me. You shouldn't have called me if you wasn't serious. Mm-hmm. Now, the next day, I may be like, nah, I'm not messing with you. We're done. And then really go in on you or something like that. But for tonight, we stuck together like glue. We done.
Yeah, you ain't finna just dip on me like that. Come on, man.
Especially because they got history. If this was like a new date, like a, you know, a new person, then maybe I'd be like, all right, nah, I'm good. Maybe I'll then call somebody who I already got history with. But since you already got history with him, I mean, it's not a new notch on the belt. And she probably had an issue scratching anyway, obviously. So do you, boo? I ain't mad.
Yeah. Especially since TSA boo was like on to the next.
And he had a cute little day.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That was embarrassing, though.
Listen, I could talk more shit than a little bit about all that stuff, but let me go ahead and let's move on and let's wrap this up, start to wrap it up, and let's talk about Issa going to Lawrence's house. I was actually surprised that Issa had no idea where Lawrence lived, number one, and it was her first time going to Lawrence's apartment. But Lawrence, again, to, I believe it was Season's point earlier, weighing his options, filling things out a little bit, trying to see how he can kind of keep, you know, juggling, you know, what's going to happen with Issa versus what's going to happen to Condola. So he invites Issa in, and, you know, they have a little moment of her, you know, cracking the jokes, doing the usual thing. And she says she's going to go to the bathroom. Now, I don't know if her intention was to set him up from the jump, or if she just very quick at taking the piss, or if she was just going in there to do one of these, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, You don't have to really use it, but you're like, okay, let me just make sure. Because I did face plant earlier. I'm okay. But this motherfucker gonna sit up there and step out and call goddamn Condola. Now, once again, let's take a sip. Let's see who's team pride and team who made the best bitch win. When this motherfucker steps out and calls this bitch and talks about, oh, okay, I still might be able to make it over. And you hear him and he bring his motherfucking ass back in the house. Do you cuss him out and leave, or do you say, game on, bitches? If you are game on, bitches, I'm going to switch it up. Game on, bitches, take a sip. Hell to the fuck nah, you got me fucked up. No sip.
Look, I'm gonna cuss you out and my stay now. What's up?
Team Petty. I'm Team Petty.
Yeah, there we go. We ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Let's have a seat.
Wow. Okay, Charlotte, you seem like you were a little bit torn. Okay, so Charlotte, what has you in between Team Petty as seasoning and Portia said and Team You Got Me Fucked Up?
Yeah, so again, I guess my pride takes me to there's no choice. You either choose me or you don't. Like I'm not arguing. I win regardless. Be it your eyes or mine. Like I'm still gonna end up a winner, and I'm not gonna let you be the deciding factor for any of it. So I don't have time to sit here and argue, be petty, like you're miserable, I'm not. Bye.
We're not gonna argue though. We're just gonna talk about it.
I don't have the energy to waste my words on you. If I'm an option, if I'm an option in your book, I don't have words to waste on you. So maybe it is pride. Yeah.
I feel you.
My pride, I'm too prideful, Chad. I'm way too prideful. So they definitely would have been, you got me all the way fucked up. I know you did not just wait till I go to the bathroom to step out and call this motherfucking bitch after you've been up my ass and around the corner all motherfucking day trying to gas me up. And then you don't have a motherfucking nerve to step out and call this bitch that's your ex bitch that left for whatever motherfucking reason. And then you'll come back up in here and be like, oh, I'm sorry. Hell to the fuck no, I know you. What did Halle Berry say? I know you sorry. You're sorry you tired. That was something. I don't know which movie it was. I feel like it was goddamn
Boomerang.
Or Boomerang.
Right. I know you sorry. Should have brought your ass home last night. We would have had one of those situations. Okay. It would not have been you caught that bitch, now let's fuck. It would definitely not have been that situation. However, I can understand the game on bitches mentality, because at the end of the day, you know what? It's like, all right. Condola came in, thought she was gonna kiki and be cute or whatever, have her little crown braids and shit. You know what I'm saying? Have her little togetherness and shit. And just supplant years of history with Issa and goddamn Lawrence. So Issa kind of, to a certain degree, if you want to be petty, if you want to be I'm gonna pull my rank on you, then maybe you do go on ahead and stick around season. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, nah, bro. I'm not finna. First of all, you asked me out. You wanted me here. We finna kick it. We finna hang out.
Period.
And by kick it, she be
Portia. We finna chill. Oh, she texting you maybe tomorrow. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have even brought her ass up. It wouldn't. I would have been like, Condola.
Really?
Right.
Okay,
no, how about this? If she called, I would have been like, hey, Condola, girl, how you doing? You over here you want to come over?
Team Petty.
Girl, we kicking it.
Yeah. Team Petty. I mean, 100%.
And then the next day, I still might have been like, I'm not talking to him no more. Like, moving on. But tonight, though, it's us.
Tonight, you're proving a point with your panties.
I didn't say I was gonna do that part. I just said.
Oh, okay.
I said with the Uno, the Scrabble, we're gonna.
Let's watch.
Even if I did, it's not a new notch on the belt. So, like, I mean,
it's a retread. It's a retread.
Exactly.
Okay, Monica, me and you, team, you got me fucked up. Your reaction in that situation, you come out the bathroom and this motherfucker has had a conversation.
I have to roll it back to Portia. Portia gonna jam everyone the fuck up. This bitch up, I'm jamming this nigga up, and then I ain't talking his ass tomorrow. Am I
Right.
all that bitch and cuss her? Like, I don't know. But anyways, I mean, like I said, the first situation when he pulled his phone out of his pocket and saw that she was calling, she just kind of dismissed it or whatever. But I feel like, going back to what I said before, her dismissive act was after they had like that really intense conversation, you know? But I can't do it. I'm doing all that, but I really cannot do it, you know? Like, I just would have been like, all right, I'm out, get me myself my lift or whatever, and dip, you know? Maybe hit up one of my girls, maybe hit up, you know, whoever, and I'm out. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm really not. So especially if it's like I said before, especially if it's someone that I was super emotionally invested with, and you know, kind of gave me some sort of glimmer of hope, and then I see you have this chick that you were seriously dating calling you, like, that's even more of like a slap in my face to be like, all right, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah. Is there part of though for Portia where you feel like, I just want to see if I still got it? I want to see if I can still like pull him, even with this bitch calling him, even with him still quote unquote being torn or whatever the situation. I want to show that I am that bitch.
Basically.
Season. Yeah. Charlotte, are you that bitch, or are you like, it's not that serious?
It's a lot.
That's the thing. Like, be it that serious or me being that bitch, I'm always going to win. Be it like ass or another nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't have a point to prove with you. I think that's like, the faith is in me. I'm always gonna win. You're always going to not win. I ain't gonna say you go lose, but you're not gonna win unless you're with me. So yeah.
Period.
Winner, baby. Winner, chicken dinner.
I'm the prize.
Hello.
So to wrap it up, they get there, do their thing, you know what I'm saying? They seem to have a real good time. The next day, Issa, you know, she kind of has, to Season and Portia's point, like, she ain't really tripping that hard. Like, mission accomplished, bitch. I'm walking home. I did what I came here to do. Doesn't really seem so much like, you know, like an open chapter still. It kind of seems like we did that and have it, you know, it's cool. So I think at this point they can go either direction with them, where it's like, we have our closure, we did our one last hurrah. Lawrence takes his motherfucking ass to San Francisco, never to be heard from again. And Issa moves on with her life. Maybe even goes fucks with Nathan. Why not? You on a roll with the retreads. But I do feel like ultimately it left it open and closed it enough to where I think no matter what happens, it's like, okay, let's see the next chapter. So for those of you who did get a chance, I don't think Monica, you had a chance to see the preview. There was no comments about Issa, it was all Lawrence and Issa this episode, and a little bit of Condola. So next week, Kerry Washington is actually directing this episode. Yeah, episode 9 this is the first time they're going to have an episode 9 of Insecure. It's always been only 8 episodes, and so now we're going to see. I don't know if it's a season finale or not, but
there's 2 episodes left.
It's 2 episodes left. Okay, so they're doing 10 episodes this season, so that's a first. So everybody was complaining about it being 30 minutes versus an hour. At least this season we get 2 more episodes. So as we wrap this up, final comments. Let's start with you. We're going to go around. Let's start with you, Season. So Season, next week we see what's going to happen. What do you think is going to happen? What do you want to see happen? Keep it quick because we're going to wrap this up. Final comments starting with you, Season.
Okay. Since you mentioned that Kerry Washington is directing, I expect some ugly crying with a lot of teeth showing. Molly is probably gonna play like hard to get, kind of like, I don't have anything to apologize for. I don't know. Honestly, I ain't really looking forward to next week because, you know, Insecure don't really be giving it to me like that. But I want to see what leads up to them meeting together. I definitely want to see Pans. I miss Pans. I want to see. I miss they pancakes. But yeah, I think it's just we might get some ugly crying in the real spirit of Kerry Washington.
Well, according to the interviews, Yvonne Orji said that Kerry Washington really pushed her. So we might see some ugly crying.
Wow.
We might see more depth than what we're accustomed to from Insecure. Don't do Kerry like that. Don't do Kerry like that. Kerry know how to cry, Chad. She got her whole facial. She acts with her whole face. She does.
That's a sign of a good actress.
I got big features. All my features, they got big teeth, big nose, big face, big eyes, big everything. So I'm not one to talk. Monica, next week, what do you? Oh, you didn't see the preview. Okay, so I'm sorry. Final comments from you, Monica, not about the previews, if you have any.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens between Issa and oh boy,
Lawrence.
we gonna see what happens with that dynamic, and kind of just keep it moving to season 42 maybe, and maybe they'll be engaged by then. Who knows?
Maybe that ring he had will pop up.
Wow.
That part.
Shar, final comments from you next week, thoughts, whatever.
I think Issa got the closure she was looking for. I don't think they're gonna progress beyond this point. The fact that she left, she didn't have breakfast with this man. She hardly morning. I think their relationship is over and done with. The fact that she was even willing to walk home, then let him call her an Uber or a Lyft, lets us know like she's done. Again, rooting for everybody Black, but the season was as lackluster as I could say. Like, this episode was meat, but you get 37 minutes of fluff and then like 3 minutes worth of meat. So I feel like this season, or this episode, was the meat of the season. So wishing Issa all the best, but I look forward to next season because this season is gone.
I mean, I do share your.
But I love you, Issa. I love you, sis. No,
I mean, for a comedy, if it's just like a comedy dramedy, it's like almost like it's what it is, right? I mean, it gives you that, but I think because right now this is a very much cultural staple, representing a demographic, even though we're all slightly older than the demographic of the characters on the show, even though in real life they probably are close to our age.
I don't know.
Well, they're 30 on the show. We're all over 30, but I don't know in real life. I don't
barely.
I don't know how much. I don't know their age. I don't recall their ages in real life. But there aren't a lot of shows that, culturally we're all Californians. So we have that. We identify with it in that way. These are experiences that we've gone through, not even that long ago, and to give us more. So, we'll see. Portia, your final thoughts.
Okay, so I haven't watched like several episodes in the middle of the season, so I can only really comment on what's happening now. But what I will say is I feel like they made it a point to show that the day after, which is normally your walk of shame, to me was her like walk of shine, right? Because she came out, it was a sunny day and she's feeling good and she's like, yes, I did that. Like, I hope one or two things. One, I hope that if they were to move forward, they actually move forward. Other than that, let it die where it lay right now. I don't want to see another round of emotional boxing with these two people, period. Yeah. So I'm hoping that she's able to now close that chapter and said, yes, I have proven my superiority. And, my my kitty cat, the preferred kitty cat, he didn't go get hers. He stayed with mine. And now I'm moving on. Now, in regards to the next episode, I did see the preview. And yes, it's about the two of them connecting as friends. And I think as friends, they'll be just fine. Friends may have these challenges, but I don't see them breaking these two up. because again, we are talking about TV. So if you break up, you know, the two of them, and then you break up her and Lawrence, like who's left? You know what I'm saying? Are they renewed for a new season or not? Because like if they're not going to come back, this like the series finale, then maybe they'll do all that. So I'm looking forward to see how they actually grow these characters. I guess looking for the next season towards the end of the season. But then to piggyback on what Season said about Pans, shout out to Pans. Love Pans. I love the little nachos
their waffles.
there.
Their waffles is what I like.
I used to love their nachos, and then yes, I did their waffles as well. So always like it when I see them in the show or a commercial. So yeah, I think it's gonna be great. We'll see what happens soon.
Yeah.
They need to put the serving spoon on the show.
Serving spoon.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, that's in Inglewood. I don't think I was gone when that kind of became a thing. At least I feel like I was. But yeah, no, that's another one. Have they had Roscoe's? I mean, there are plenty of LA staples. Yeah, there's some LA staples. But like Pans is like an LA. Like you if you're from Southern California, then you know Pans. It's not like anything that you know from like the touristy spots. It's like, all right, we're gonna go to Pans and get some chicken and waffles from Pans.
Yeah. You know what they got to put in the show too? They got to go across the street to Ralph's and get them some catfish nuggets, because that fish over there at Ralph's was popping. Y'all ever had fish from the Ralph's across the street from Pam?
No,
I have my fish. I have my you buy refried fish places in California, LA now. And I goddamn got motherfucking Ralph's. I go to Penguin Fish.
Penguins popping.
Penguins is popping, and there's another spot. And it's
in Hawthorne, right?
It's in Hawthorne. It's on El Segundo. I want to say it's El Segundo and Crenshaw. But
that sounds right.
Yeah, El Segundo and Crenshaw. That's my shit. That's my shit. Okay.
Yeah.
They have. You said you don't like that one as much.
Because you told me about that one before, and I went there, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But Penguin Fish. But I'm telling y'all, Ralph's across from Pans be popping.
I'm done
now.
Just that one.
I'm not squandering my seafood runs on no goddamn Ralph's across the street from Pans. I'm going to my spot.
Ralph's though.
You know, when I go to LA, I go on my food tour. So I'm not
See you in 2 days, Reese. See what I
have 6 meals every day in LA because I'm like, I gotta hit all of these spots when I'm here. No, but thank you, ladies, for joining. To wrap up from my comments, I have to say I agree with what you all said. I do think that there is a sense of closure when it comes to Issa and Lawrence. There's also a sense of maybe we can start anew. So I think I can't predict which way it's going to go. I think with Issa and Molly, Issa's reaching out first, even though she said that she wouldn't. So here we go again. Issa being the one who's the pushover, in my opinion. But I think it's mature of her. I won't say pushover until we see what happens. I think it's mature of her to reach out to Molly. I think it's interesting that there are 2 more episodes, and it seems like we're going to resolve the Issa Molly aspect of it. So I think that I still want to see a little bit more of what Issa is going to do now, because right now it seems like these chapters are closing, are turning the page, but I still don't have a good read on Issa and what's next for her. Like, I mean, I think we have a read on what she foresees, but I kind of want to see some steps taken for her to be on that path. You know, Lawrence had his interviews, Molly had her vacation, she has her job, and then Issa, it's just all these question marks. So I want to see some of those question marks get answered. But ladies, thank you so much for sticking with me despite my technical difficulties. It's been fun. It's been such a hard week, I think, for Black people in America to deal with all the bullshit. So it's so therapeutic to just spend an hour and some change talking with you all about Insecure. I think a lot of us can relate to a lot of different aspects this week. For those of you watching, thanks for tuning in. Next week, we will be back. So if y'all have anything left, I'm about to finish this off. Then cheers.
Cheers.
Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter.